Thus, we could show Latifah multiple documents regarding her ancestor Juggy, and remarkably, conclude that Juggy had been born around 1766. That's before the United States is the United States. The Battle of Concord.
You shouldn't have told me that, because now I'm about to talk some major ish out there. I've been here since before the United States was the United. This is some, you just gave me some smack talking papers. I just want you to know that.
The Battle of Lexington, Concord, 1775, and your fifth great grandmother was born in 1766, according to that document.
Wow.
Does this make you feel more American?
It's so funny because I've had this conversation, and in this climate we are in, people are like, man, I'm moving to Canada, I'm going here, and I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. This is my country. In this climate we are in, people are like, man, I'm moving to Canada, I'm going here, and I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. This is my country. My family helped build this nation. I'm not going anywhere. We are going to stay here, and we are going to fight and do what we need to do to make it right.
Of course.
But now that has a whole different meaning to me. I already believed it, but now I see it really is my country.
Happened, right? That was what the Jim Crow laws were all about, man. Like, one of the things about slavery is slavery didn't end, boom, now let's give black people jobs. No, slavery ended, and then there was this long period where black men would get arrested for anything and everything.
Yeah.
We got a new Willie Earl story coming, so happy Black American History Month to y'all. Shout out to the fam and everybody worldwide. House cleaning. Now, of course, it's been brought to my attention that, you still got some loudmouth Negroes that feel that it's okay to denigrate our ancestors and to denigrate our history as if we did not contribute anything to this country. And this is a whirlwind, and I think I kind of got to the bottom of where a lot of the rhetoric comes from. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that a lot of black Americans are feeling like, you know what, y'all niggas stay over there. We got this. We don't need y'all. It'd be nice, but we really truly don't. If you got that mindset. You had some lady from Haiti that had to say, and she was drinking too, she got on some platform talking about dirty black Americans.
I'm Haitian. Why? Where you from? What's your background? You American? Dirty black American?
Wait, what?
Huh?
And there was a Haitian lady that was saying some slick stuff about us not having no culture while using our style, our vernacular, southern accent, every single thing.
People ask me if there's a difference between Haitians and African Americans. Sure, there's some big differences. Perfect example, Haitians be like,
Dang, Park, that look like Zoe on the side of the road right there.
oh, dang, that's over there. Let me stop and help him. Okay, let me pull up over there where you at. African Americans be like,
Park, I think that's your best friend stuck on the side of the road.
oh, dang, that's my best friend over there? Okay, well, if he's still there, when we come through next week, I'll stop and pick him up.
Every single thing outside of claiming where their folks is from. And so I heard something about her mentioning something about 1804. And I'm like, yeah, 1804, I mentioned it in my second book. 1804 was a pivotal moment. But then y'all just let the French ransack shit. She mentioned something about we would have never been free if it wasn't for 1804. We already had revolts here. We had revolts here in 1526. We had all kind of different stuff going on. I remember there was a message that Frederick Douglass was talking about, and they were trying to tell black folks, jump back on the ship, go to Africa, go to the folks that sold you off. And he basically said, hey, our sweat, blood, and tears for the last couple of 100 years is here. He didn't diss them. He's just like, okay, this recolonization, We here. We built this here. We deserve citizenship. We deserve our fair share. That's true justice. And I think I figured it out. If you gotta leave a place that you claim you love so much, and you see a group of people that never had to leave, of course you're gonna be upset. If you got a cousin that always did more than you and contributed more inventions than you, and they did a whole lot more, and they just had a different kind of spirit, and they created laws so everybody around the world could come and enjoy, I probably would feel kind of jealous of you too. And when they say that we don't have a culture, they know it's got to be a lie, because they black ass wouldn't be here in the first damn place. You see what I'm saying? The architect of rock and roll, Rosetta Thorpe, and Chuck Berry and Little Richard from blues.
You know that Elvis Presley and Pat Boone sold more Tutti Frutti than I did, and I wrote it and sung it.
Did that bother you?
No, it didn't. It made me feel good. They opened the door that was locked and I couldn't get in. And I took the Beatles and Mick Jagger with me. Mick Jagger was living on a truck. I had Jimi Hendrix playing guitar for me. I had Billy Preston on the organ, James Brown, and Joe Tex was my vocalist. I had all of them. That's the reason I'm the king. All of them came from me.
That all comes back to hip-hop, to the hip-hop vernacular and certain slang words. All that comes from us.
Listen to this. A New York Times opinion piece is praising 3 red southern states for turning their educational systems around in a dramatic way. It's Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama, and they're being called the best hope in schooling after each rose through the ranks.
You dig what I'm saying? And another thing I was thinking about too, when they say, well, they try to compare us and say, oh, well, you guys are migrants just like the illegal. No. We just moved from different places for financial gain. There's a documentary called The Bastards of a Party. See,
Brand and chain. So I started really trying to search out, how did this get started? You know what I mean? I really went to my peers, went to guys older than me. I learned about the migration to Los Angeles to find better jobs. And like I said, to escape the prejudice and this that was going on in the South. I met up with the guys at Edison, California Cultural Center down on Vermont and I think Western, somewhere down there. And they started explaining to me about how their generation came to LA.
Majority of the blacks was coming from the South then, and after the war, the train was called the Argonaut. It was a train that stopped at every little town from Mississippi, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas. Before it got to Union Station, it was stopped by Central Avenue, and all the black people had to get off.
And they came here because they were trying to escape racism, and for economic reasons, a lot of factories were hiring. They got here, and a lot of prejudice here and racism here as far as the job markets and as far as blacks buying homes and moving into certain neighborhoods they weren't allowed to. Racism was alive and kicking right here in Los Angeles. So I'm sure they were pretty shocked about that.
LA was just clamped down on blacks and Mexicans. You were just limited.
Everybody doesn't live with rats and roaches. And everybody doesn't have to live like that. Why do we live that way? Because of the way that we were brought to this country.
We were slaves for 300 years. We was chattel property. After that, we were free, and then we were segregated.
For 400 years, black labor built the United States. All of a sudden, it's no longer needed. So sorry. I mean, there's something different about being poor in LA than there is anywhere up in the world. You're right up against it. It's all there in front of you, and you can't have any of it.
You don't have to live in the projects to get swooped up in this war.
We had clothes and everything we wanted. I didn't come from like a poor family.
We start bringing up receipts and archives, folks' feelings get hurt and they got to say this bullshit, especially during Black History Month, which is the worst part. There was a documentary called Bastards of the Party. And in Bastards of the Party, You had Clee Sloan. He was the one that was in training day. He did a great documentary on how did the Bloods and Crips form. Now, some people might say there might have been a hand in the CIA, this, that, and the third. They were created just like infiltration in the Panthers or whatever. Some people might say that. But what we know is before the Bloods and the Crips, you had what they call, I think they had a group of race soldiers called coon catchers or something like that. So you had dudes like Bird, that was in Made in America, that doc, where they were talking about, man, they formed these groups, the gladiators. They formed these groups, man, because, you know, white folks was trying to annihilate us out there in LA. They brought race soldiers from Mississippi to South Central LA because they know how to handle Negroes. Go look that up. So you got to think about it. We didn't have a mass exodus where we bounced up and left. Y'all jumped on a boat and left the people that you're claiming is bad for your country, like Barbecue. Barbecue holding it down, making sure folks don't infiltrate, and y'all saying Barbecue's a bad guy.
System here is a stinky system. Right. Son système corrompu. It's a corrupt system.
Il faut nous changer n'importe gens.
And by any means we must change it.
Et normal pour utiliser moun qui gagne pile kobyo.
It is normal to use the people with a lot of money.
Yo utilise médias local yo.
They use the local media.
Yo utilise médias international.
They use the international media.
Pour détruire caractère.
So they can.
Okay, I'll give you that. Barbecue in Haiti holding it down. Barbecue ain't fleeing. That's one thing I'll shout out to Barbecue. Barbecue ain't pack up and leave. He says, I love Haiti. Now, he might be taking some shit over. Okay, fine. But we went to California and up north from the South for a bag. You still had Jim Crow-like racial covenants, and you had sundown towns that developed over time. So we really didn't have nowhere to go. There was nowhere where we were going to be able to just get up and go. Where were we supposed to go? You can't say, well, go back to Africa. Y'all ain't got shit. Man, it's tribalism over there too. There was nowhere for us to go after leaving the plantation. And there was nowhere for us to go leaving Mississippi and the deep South, but up north to more segregation. But there was more money. So it's not because it was just racial stuff. They try to make it seem like niggas just got scared to tuck their tail. A lot of black folks stayed. Let's talk about that. But they went to California. They went to Compton and weren't accepted. They were going to these different places. They had to end up in Watts, and eventually they went to West LA and all that. We did not make a mass exodus out of the United States of America. We didn't pack up on a boat and leave and say, well, our government is trying to attack us. We had to fight militarized government all over.
To hate themselves. Lady that said that we're dirty black Americans, looking like she used to chew on shitty diapers in Haiti. This is before she let our culture get to her and, you know, kind of change up her swag a little bit. My thing is, just like I told Star Dawkins, it's always a Caribbean that was taught by their self-hating mother to hate themselves and everybody else around them to project their feelings onto us. Once again, I encourage all of y'all to look up the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Black Americans put that in place so that y'all can bring y'all ass over here and complain. First of all, y'all only want to be inclusive to our culture when it's beneficial to y'all. Castanet, Star Dawkins, her for this matter. Like, bitch, you did not look like that when you was in Haiti, or when you first came over here and was trying to learn the black American culture. You did not look like that, bitch. You look like you used to be in Haiti. Seriously. Then when they asked her, hey, why'd you say that? She talking about some, oh, that's just my experience, but then failed to elaborate. My thing is, y'all think we have it easy and it's the land of milk and honey. Bitch, people didn't literally die for this shit. It's like y'all don't want to look up the civil rights, or y'all want to act like it didn't fucking happen, just like the fucking white people. I just wish we weren't so inclusive with everybody else, because we always get the short end of the stick. They would never do that same for us. And then on top of that, I like how the boy had her apologize. She apologized like 3 times and did not accept her apology, because don't have to spare her feelings because she said sorry. Bitch, the bitch wasn't sorry when she said that. And he clocked her when he was like, no, you just thought that everybody in here was like, you thought everybody in here was Caribbean, so you could say that. And then he said, we're not a culture, we're the culture. And that's very true. She tried to brush past it. No. And what he mean by the culture, walking, talking, and dressing like black Americans. And on top of that, everybody knows if your song is liked by black Americans, you done damn near made it. Like,
they sanctioned the police to annihilate us. They sanctioned armored tanks and all that kind of stuff to come through. Did y'all have armored tanks in Haiti? Did y'all have armored tanks and dogs and bull counter and all that? We had a bunch of bull counters throughout the state. So you fix your mouth to say anything talking about we're dirty. Do we really got to talk about how Haiti looks? Haiti don't look too keen. And it's a beautiful country, of course. But there's some places where the trash is everywhere. So let's not do that. Let's really not talk about what's dirty. And when she tried to clear it up and say, well, oh, there's dirty Haitians and stuff, so you don't love your people either. One of the first black men to create a major algorithm for AI, which your ass use, is a black man, Mr. Blackwell. I'm gonna put that in the video. But yeah, man, it's folks is so butthurt and so mad because the fact of the matter is global culture started here. When they say, well, we have soul food in other places. No, you don't. There's all of the soul food for the most part. It might be some rice, but most of the food that was created before the Jim Crow South and antebellum slavery was here.
I don't know many Black Americans who haven't heard of bean pie. This was a special request from my friend AB. This is not the bean pie recipe. I don't know that. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. We're losing recipes, and I'm going to find out if that's for a good reason. Most people under 60 have never made this. When it comes to candy, we think store-bought, bright wrappers, plastic bags, checkout lines. But before all that, we made our own.
It was not created anywhere else. Otherwise, you'd have soul food spots all over the damn world.
Everybody around the world copies African Americans and then yet disrespects them. GPS is a black woman. Well, 3D imaging is a black woman. Laser eye surgery is a black woman. Escalators a black inventor. Elevators a black inventor. The roller coaster, the cell phone, our video games is Jerry Lawson. Mary Van Brighton. In 1966, she invented the home security. You're talking about open heart surgery, Daniel Hale. Plasma, Charles Drew. We can keep going. Surgical equipment. Black people inventing, just constantly inventing. And they took everything and lied. And
that stuff is going to be copied and replicated here. You're not going to have the gumbo and the jambalaya and all that kind of stuff. You might have different kind of little variations and stuff, but nah, man. Black American, foundational Black American cuisine comes from America.
So where's the soul now? The soul now is back in the South. The soul now is the trail ride. The soul now, blues, Southern soul music. That's where the soul is now. You know why? Because it's not controlled. It's going on in backyards, it's going on in fields all over the South.
And people can say America ain't shit, this, that, and the third, F America, this, that, and the third. The bottom line is your black ass ain't trying to fucking go nowhere else. You're not breaking your neck to jump on a plane and go anywhere else.
Frederick McKinley Jones was a self-taught genius with a knack for fixing anything electrical. In 1938, his tinkering in a Minnesota garage birthed something the world had never seen before, a portable refrigeration unit for trucks. With it, he co-founded Thermo King.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a lot of fucked up shit that's going on. Yeah, the police blow our heads off. Yeah, the prison systems, you got Angola, you got all of that. But guess what? As my uncle says, man, he done went to Nam, he done went to the wars. My father said the same thing. He said, Derek, you talk shit. Go to some of these other places that these people are packing up and leaving and fleeing. Go to some of those places over there and see how people live and why they leaving. Before somebody lets you come over here and talk shit and tell you you ain't got no culture. Their spirit and their attitude wouldn't have been able to survive the civil rights movement and American antebellum slavery here in America. Because they were cowards before they left, and when they left, they still talking shit about us. That's the bottom line. And it's a damn shame. So now we got to dig up the graves and show all the accomplishments and the stuff we did. And people are telling us, well, hey, man, you know, you should just be a Pan-African and just let these niggas talk shit and slide. No. You don't hate America enough to take your black ass where you came from, because it's a hellhole right now. We got to get some understanding about this shit, man. Y'all, this shit been going on for so damn long, and folks are mad because, you know, niggas from here are kind of like, you know what? And see, the broad brush is painted as, well, black Americans are accusing everybody of being like that. We ain't got no problem with the real niggas. And they're not going to be offended no way. They're not going to be offended no how. The only niggas that's complaining and talking about this liberal, beta male, xenophobic bullshit, the only people that's complaining about that, man, is niggas that's offended because they know they doing it, or they got cousins or aunties that be checking them. Like this one sister, I'm gonna show you this video about her.
That used to become back in the day because hey, we used to listen before we started make our own music in Jamaica. We used to listen to pure American music. People like Ruth Brown, James Brown, Smiley Lewis, Fancy Domino, you know, Louis Prima and Louis Jordan. Them man there, you understand? And before we start make our own music in Jamaica, we used to listen to pure American music. People like Ruth Brown, James Brown, Smiley Lewis, Fancy Domino, you know, Louis Prima and Louis Jordan. Them man there, you understand? And then it's like when the ska come about, so we start listening to the ska until it come over to rock steady, until it come down to reggae, you know. So it's like it's basically the same thing, you know what I mean?
She go up in there, she trying to help these old ass decrepit broads, and they start talking slick in front of her, through Creole.
Don't know. Y'all better watch yourself because y'all don't know who gonna humble y'all. I live in Miami. I speak Creole, but I do not look Haitian. And I never forget that one time I went to that nursing home and picked up that shift, and there was them group of Haitian women. Now, them groups of Haitian women, if you know, you know. When you go to work, you gotta watch them because they some sneaky, nasty motherfuckers. But that one group of Haitian women, they had their ringleader. I call her Matante, which is, you know, slang for auntie in Creole. But Matante sat there and she said, Gadon salopi, gad tipitin, li rentre la, au black américain, cheveux rouge, Bouddha fect, gadel, la vinal pa vin fè rien. Mind you, I'm not a hoe. Mind you, I came to work. Mind you, my booty ain't done. My booty real. But that's just a glimpse of what they were saying. So yeah, all day long I was dealing with their attitudes and whatever, and I was still helping them. I was still doing my job. And they were like, damn, they saying it in Creole. Damn, this girl actually do work. Dang, maybe she not what we thought she was. Mind you, I never said anything. I never spoke Creole. I acted like I didn't know what was going on. So fast forward, my aunt, the auntie, she gets hurt and she falls. Her friends in Creole, they all say, Mbappe del, dum ba bon. I'm not going to help her because my back don't work like that. Here go little old me. I go help the lady, y'all. I put the lady in the chair. I asked the lady, I said, hey, do you need anything else? She said, oh, baby, can you go get me some water? Mind you, water in Creole is shit, but whatever. She said water. I went and got the lady some water, and I came back. I said, men don't want me, men low are we? She said, you speak Creole? I said, I absolutely do. I speak good Creole. My booty ain't fake, by the way. It's real. I ain't a hoe, and I did come to work to do my job. Watch how you talk to people, because you never know who gonna humble you.
And I think she was a Haitian sister. But, you know, I'm not sure if she was Haitian or not. She speak Creole. She speak fluent Creole. And they were talking real slick. And so she had to speak to them. Hey, look, I ain't no 304. I ain't got a fake behind her. I think she was Haitian. I'm not sure. But, you know, it was another video that was like that, too. This was a Haitian woman. This might be the same woman, but this is two different videos I saw. The one I'm going to post in a minute. But this one Haitian lady said, hey, you know, the Haitian ladies were talking slick about this other Haitian. They didn't know she was Haitian. So she got on their ass. I'm going to try to find that video too. She got on their ass. You need to watch who you talking about. This is a common consensus of how they talk about us. And the ones that ain't talking about us, they know it too. They online and they saying shit about it. Like, man, my people foul as hell. They like, I've talked to a lot of them. I've talked to a lot of folks, man, from foreign backgrounds and be like, man, my folk been on bullshit. They the black sheep because they had to check their ass. Nigga, your monkey ass wouldn't be in this bitch if it wasn't for the Freedmen. You still be back at home ducking machetes and watching and running from warthogs or whatever the fuck, wherever war-torn district your ass come from, nigga. You still be doing that. You may not even be alive. We saved your life. Yeah, it was folks like Jesse Jackson, you know, the Sharptons. Yeah, they saved your damn life. Implementing policies that we didn't like. You see what I'm saying? And, man, you know, I like I say, yeah, these folks done lost their damn mind. They done lost their damn minds, man. It's a damn shame that we got to keep on doing this. You know, and the reality is there's really nowhere we could go. Yeah, it could be, it's a few places that might accept us back, like, you know, hey, you know, Ghana and all this, and like I posted, like people apologize and whatever, but it should be an open door policy. Like I told you, I got a family member, man, he been going to Africa for damn near fucking 60 years. And ain't opened up no citizenship for that nigga, man. They should be kissing that nigga's ass, all the shit he did for them over there. But that's not the case. You gotta pay a bunch of money, and there gotta be a bunch of scheming and scamming and all kind of shit. I know this. I know this because I know people that went over there. They've been over there forever. And then the white folks and the Asians show up, and here you go. Y'all can just have whatever. Nope. Not on this damn channel. No, hey, y'all open up the conversation, we gonna have it. If you open up the conversation, we gonna have it. You gonna get roasted to high heaven. We just gonna pull up the sheet. You could talk about Chicago, the Bloods and the Crips, and a few little baby mamas, the lower ends of society. But you are not trying to go back to the crib. I'm talking about the ones that's talking that shit. Specifically. You ain't really trying to go back. And Dr. Umar ain't trying to go back.
So my movement to counteract the negativity of these movements we're discussing is going to be the DAFA movement. D-A-F-A, descendants of African freedmen in America. Remember, Loom, after freedom came, we were known as what? Freedmen. That was a legal classification. We were the freedmen. My 3 times great-grandfather George fought in the Civil War. My 4 times great-grandfather Steve fought in the Civil War. My cousins Lewis and Charles, the sons of Frederick Douglass, fought in the Civil War. I'm a descendant of freedmen who fought to keep this country from being divided. And we have rights as freedmen, so we're fighting as descendants of African, not no American. You ain't never putting that in no title, no organization of mine. Descendants of African freedmen in America.
Dr. Umar done got us out a whole bunch of damn money. Why don't y'all call Umar? These same folks don't want to work with Umar. Why is that? He a Pan-African. Why can't they work with Dr. Umar? Because you know Dr. Umar is running a scam. And he's one of ours. We'll admit that. Yeah. That nigga's a freedman. He was just talking about this freedman shit the other day. Well, I don't like FBA. Well, you know I'm a freedman. Okay, nigga. It's the same thing. It's the same damn thing. Same people that built the country. But he ran a scam on us, but they never really want to rock with Umar. So when you have a one-sided street, I'm talking specifically to a certain demographic. I'm not painting a broad brush. I'm talking a specific, yeah, I'm going to keep giving niggas that work. Yeah, we got this history, we got that, we made that food, these are the things we did. Yeah. We going to keep talking about this because we used to kind of say stuff and didn't really say nothing public. It's a public thing now. We've been attacked publicly, so we'll just return fire. That's all. We not having the shaboozis. We not having that. Yeah, we not gonna have the Rosa Parks, Nicki Minaj's disses and stuff. Yeah, we not gonna have folks that just feel like they could just pick us apart. And in the name of you being another black person, we have to sit and just listen to this bullshit and be told that we have no culture.
There is no need going outside for entertainment, not tonight or any other night for that matter, for right on the premises things are truly jumping each evening with a well-rounded presentation of star acts from the world of stage, screen, radio, and television, offered in an atmosphere of good fellowship and contagious friendliness.
Yes, there's always a big draw name emceeing a fast-moving revue that guarantees an evening of fun. And remember, it's Hampton House's own nightclub. A visit to the dining room reveals a cozy, homey atmosphere where good food is the prime essential. The convenient coffee counter is open on an 18-hour basis from 7 in the morning until 1 past midnight. A very welcome and desirable service, especially when one is on vacation. Occasionally, for special events, A smorgasbord is set up for the enjoyment of the guests. And just to look at it is enough to whet the most demanding appetite. This bountiful display of the chef's handiwork, set to dinner music in the spacious lounge, makes for unforgettable memories. New York, Boston, Detroit, Cleveland, Chicago, Los Angeles, all are nearer to Hampton House than you think. Miami's terrific international airport is only 5 minutes away by the great new expressway.
Frederick Douglass could have said it his best. We got hundreds and hundreds of years of stuff we done did.
1800s, a black man was a cowboy, and the white man didn't want to be associated with it being the same as the black man, so they said they were cowhands. The earliest American cowboy came from the Houston area. They were black men, slaves, and they were the first cowboys. Country music came from black cowboys in the 1850s. Charlie Willis, a singing cowboy. This is him and his wife. He wrote a song called Goodbye Old Paint. Charlie Willis was from Richmond, Texas. Clarence Gonzalez was his grandson. That was my cousin. 1958, when blacks couldn't ride with whites here in Texas, they had to drive all the way to New York, Madison Square Garden. That's Clarence Gonzalez. That's my dad. They went up there together in 1958. I remember that. I was 6 years old. And when he came back, he had a lot of money in his pocket. And I was so scared of that money because I had never seen that much money before. He asked me if I wanted to count it. I couldn't count it. 1860s. Country music came from black cowboys in the 1800s.
Yeah, we probably don't know exactly where we came from 500, 600 years ago. We may not know that, but we know enough. We know enough to be proud of. We shouldn't discard our history and just because America treated us like shit. Shit, all the damn European countries treat niggas like shit. What does that mean? That don't mean nothing. You're not gonna shame me because I might not know something for 500 years for a country that might have been renamed. Hell, Nigeria was named by some white woman in 1932.
There are no Nigerians. We have Ijaw people, we have Efik people, we have Yorubas, we have Hausas. We are different nationalities. So we cannot make a constitution for ourselves, for non-existent people. There is nobody called Nigerian. We are different nations that were brought together, tinkered together by the British colonialists. We want Nigeria to disintegrate. Nigeria is a false creation.
Some of them niggas can't even show the last 100 years of where their folks is from. They could point like, oh, well, this is Nigeria, but I could show where my folks actually did the work. And I should be proud of that. That's a story for inspiration. Yes, it is. Yes, indeed. That's a story for inspiration. And another thing, I forgot to mention some of our greats, our great dirty black Americans. Ida B. Wells. I mentioned Frederick Douglass, Granville T. Woods, Booker T, W.E.B. Du Bois. Y'all ain't got the equivalent over there. Let's be honest, man. I'm not dissing nobody. You do not have the hundreds of revolutionaries. You don't even have nobody outside of Haiti that can stand up for you on this TPS issue. Ain't nobody breaking their neck from Jamaica or nowhere in the Caribbean that's breaking their neck to speak out on this TPS issue. And this TPS issue, y'all going to have to figure it out. You dig? Yeah, dirty black Americans don't really need to be in on this. I don't think we should really be worried about Ice Ice Baby and TPS in that regard, should we? Should we? You can't name a Beyonce from your island. You can name Kodak Black. That nigga don't want to go to Haiti. They think he's gonna get ate.
I never been to Haiti. Damn, my mama don't want me to go. She don't want me going over there. But it's just like, it's crazy. I tried to go when my grandpa died, but it's like, you know, a whole lot of voodoo, a whole lot of like, I probably don't even come back if I go to Haiti.
Nah, you be alright, man.
Man, them people probably eat me, man.
Nah, you be alright.
Man, them people probably eat me.
His mama told him that if he goes back to Haiti, they gonna eat him. So this nigga thinks his own folks is cannibals. So you got Kodak Black. Is that your representative, Kodak Black, Dessalines, and Louis Vuitton? Yeah, that was a long time ago. Y'all got Kodak Black and y'all got Barbecue. Shout out to Barbecue. Barbecue a real nigga. Barbecue ain't trying to leave. Barbecue trying to stay and fight and defend his homeland. You know? Yeah, you don't, there's no Beyonce. And anything that comes with music, and you know what I'm saying, and you know, anything with music and style, that comes from over here. Let's just put it on a footnote, you know. And Kodak Black doing his thing. Kodak Black a rap. He Haitian, but that's Black American culture that he's taking. Even if some of the stuff is negative, it's still Black American culture. It is hip hop. It was not created in Jamaica. It was not created in nowhere in the Caribbean. Nowhere. If we try to do something, Michael B. Jordan, what he try to do? That nigga try to, he's like, oh, I'm black, so I could go and use a Caribbean name for this. You know, this might be this a black owned thing. I'm trying to get liquor popping. Nicki Minaj said, hold on, nigga, you ain't Caribbean, so she delineated. So what the fuck is the problem? There should be no issue. None. Yeah, you don't have an Ida B. Wells. You don't have the closest thing, like, okay, with the Jamaica in the Caribbean, you had the Maroons and stuff like that. But yeah, you didn't have a Deacons. You didn't have no Deacons of Defense that we know about. We know about Louis Vuitton and Dessalines, and maybe and a few others. We don't really know no names. We got names. We got Sharptons and Jesse Jacksons, whether we criticize them or not. We got John Lewis's. We got good troubles that made laws and rights for you. We got Ida B. Wells. We got Frederick Douglass's. We got IBM engineers. We got Thermo King. We got patents and inventions. We got a long list of wins, and we're still fighting. So to say that we don't have a culture and we're just some lost niggas that don't know a damn thing, you're pretty much saying we ain't shit. So I can see why somebody would say dirty black Americans. So I think it's best that we just be dirty and black, and just be dirty and be dirty black Americans, and just worry about our dirty black fellow Americans. I think that's a great thing to do, you know.
I know I am a child of God.
This is Oakland's second annual Black Cowboy Parade, an event designed to make the city conscious of the black heritage not only of the Bay Area but of the entire West.
Them black cowboys riding down the street. And they stuck.
And this is your father.
That's my dad.
100 riders and their horses paraded today as part of Oakland's Black Cowboy Parade, a reminder that black pioneers were among the earliest explorers of the West.
Say a one for the trouble, two for the time. Come on, y'all, let's rock the... yes, y'all. A freak, y'all. A funky beat, y'all.